I always begin by saying, I'm only a beginner, beginning to learn this instrument. But there are a few things, a few tricks that I can share with you right here at the beginning that I've already learned that might make this easier for you. The first I've covered in the previous video, and that is relax. Don't grip the instrument tightly. Keep your rhythm arm loose and relaxed. Keep your chording fingers loose and relaxed. Slide up and down the neck of the instrument naturally, smoothly, simply, and don't grip too hard. Even when you're making the chords, don't press any harder than you have to get a clear chord. It doesn't have to be very hard. So you save your finger pads, but also it'll just keep you more relaxed and allow you to have more fun as you go along. The other thing to learn is how to hold the pick. The key to rhythm is in the pick control. Now, I said in a previous video that I recommend, and other people have recommended to me, these little Dunlap picks. Very thin, very forgiving for a beginning player. When you play, you're going to think it makes an awful noise because you're going to hit the wood. I don't know if you can hear that. You don't want to hit it on every stroke, but you're going to hit it occasionally and it's going to make that click. The reality is that the people listening to you are not going to hear the click nearly as strongly as you do. You're right there. You're going to hear every single click. But when you're playing, you're strumming along, the people listening, or if you're recording yourself, it's not going to be obvious that you're hitting the body of the instrument. Still, you want to learn not to do that, and as quickly as possible. But I would recommend starting with a very thin pick. How you hold it? Well, there's all kinds of ways. Again, if you look on YouTube, you'll see people recommend all different kinds of ways. A lot of people hold it like this, between thumb and forefinger. Some people, my guitar course, the guitar teacher says you have to hold it so it's sticking out of the side of your thumb, always. And that means holding it back here under the first knuckle of your second finger. Now, sometimes, being lazy, if I want to get it across the sound hole and my arm is a little too long, I actually hold it like this between my thumb and the pointer finger, and that allows me to strum over the sound hole without getting the instrument up like this or down like this. So just especially if I'm sitting in a chair, that's a very easy, natural position. So experiment with picks. And this is a 0.46. This one is a 0.38. So this is thinner. This is heavier and stiffer. Usable, but it means you have to grip it even looser. Just barely grip it in order for it to be able to flex as you go up and down. I saw this on one of the stick dulcimer sites. For a beginner, the pick has to supply some of that motion that will eventually be in your hand, and that's why a softer pick will do a better job for most beginners. One of the issues that you'll face if you own both Merlins is there aren't a lot of instruction materials available for the G Merlin. There's more and more. Benja Lemonade has gotten some videos up where she teaches songs specifically on the G Merlin, but it's still very limited compared to what's available for the D Merlin. There are, however, some good, well, they call them 3-string guitar books where they are written and arranged for tunes in the key of G. as I've mentioned before though, any song that you learn in D, you can play on the G Merlin. It just drops it down 5 steps and makes it much lower. Your voice may accommodate that or it may not. I find many songs easier to sing in D than in G, but there are a few songs like Blowing in the Wind, which is another song that I'm learning, is actually easier for me to sing with the G Merlin than it is with the D. If you do a search for most any song that you want to learn on the internet, you'll find lyrics and chords already available. And at the very worst, you'll have to write them off, print out the lyrics and write in the chords. Now it happens that my wife is a music teacher, so it's easier for me. I just print out the lyrics and go to my wife and say, so what chords do I play? And she helps me find where they go and we write them down. And then I have this little music sheet that I can learn along with. But most songs you'll find somewhere on the internet. And again, it may give you guitar chords, it may give you ukulele chords. You're not interested in the chord positions. You're only interested in the chords themselves. So any tab that you find for any song that you want to sing, if it has the chords, you're set to go. And that is an app that provides backing tracks for thousands of songs that you might want to learn. You can actually put in the chords that you know. It will sort its songs in order to give you a set of songs that you can play with the chords that you know. It also has a transposition feature, which allows you to go up a step or down a step if the chords don't suit you, or suit your voice, or suit your instrument. And it provides backing tracks for all of those songs. And that's a lot of fun to practice with. So that's an option too. Again, it's it's like $40 a year for a subscription, but that gives you access to thousands of songs of all different kinds: folk songs, Christian songs, current pop songs, all kinds of stuff. Rock and roll, lots of rock and roll. So that's worth looking into as well in order to give you something to play along with. Last tip, record yourself. Right from the beginning, as soon as you dare, get out your iPad, your iPhone, or a camera and make a recording of yourself playing. You'll be, I think, pleasantly surprised at how rapidly you can sound decent, not great, but decent on this instrument. And there's 2 reasons for doing that. One is to give yourself a record of your progress. I played that, oh boy, that's terrible, but I'm getting better at it. And here's a recording that shows that I'm getting better at it. And the second is that it just gives you practice and a reason to practice the songs that you enjoy learning. There's nothing like sharing your music. And if you're not ready to share it with the world as a whole, certainly not suggesting you upload those early videos to YouTube like I'm doing. That'd be crazy. But you will enjoy seeing yourself, hearing yourself playing your instrument. It's just a fun thing to do, and it's the right thing to do, because eventually you're going to want to be able to play this in front of other people. At least I do. And again, 99% of my enjoyment of this instrument just comes from playing it for myself and getting better at it. But I know, we're having a little family reunion in August. I know I'm taking this with me, and I'm going to know 2 or 3 songs well enough to actually play them in public for the first time come August. And finally, remember, if you're not having fun, don't do it.